More than a year later, The Witcher gods finally graced our Netflix screens.
You done with us?
No, you need to suffer in disgrace, new king.
And I'll let you in on some BTS juicy info. But first, let's catch you up on something else first.
I speak the truth.
What does the narrative of The Witcher Blood Origin explore? I mean, what else are holidays for if not to sink your teeth into a meaty and juicy show? Bonus points if it's fantasy. As for the newest season is the prequel to when Mr. Geralt of Rivia served on screen. While we were plenty disappointed that the hottest man on Earth wasn't a part of this show, it still packed plenty of punch. They set the show 1,200 years before the story in the first and second seasons of the show. It revolves around the story of blood, war, elves, and the conjunction of the spheres, only the most badass instance to take place in the Witcher world. If you missed the memo, the conjunction of the spheres let humans and monsters into the world of dwarves and elves. The writer of the original Witcher series, Declan DeBarra, produced the show. What's interesting is that they planned the prequel in the OG show's writing room, and that too during a brainstorm session. Blood Origin also reveals the first prototype Witcher to ever exist.
Or seen.
I went into the show with zero expectations because, let's be honest, the cast of the original series makes it what it is. But despite my very low expectations, I was pretty surprised at how the new cast made their mark. Let's hear some juicy BTS gossip from one of the cast members. Spoiler, you've seen her in one of Netflix's most popular shows.
Conquest for conquest's sake means nothing. I want to civilize these new worlds. Bring R.
Mirren Mack was awestruck to play Merwin's role, and honestly, so was I. When I first started watching the show, I just knew I'd seen this character before, but I couldn't actually place her. After a few minutes of confusion and racking my brain, and maybe a quick Google search, I finally confirmed that none other than Mirren Mack played the role of Merwin. You know, Florence from Education. If you hadn't caught up on that, you're welcome. The 25-year-old looks stunning in the new show. The girl heard rent was due and gave it her all. In an interview, Mac revealed that joining the Witcher universe was terrifying for her because she was so excited. She said she loved fantasy, and when she got chosen for the role, she couldn't believe it. I love this energy, by the way. Anything even remotely fantastical, sign me the F up.
I was her sword mother. She trusts me.
And now you're willing to betray her.
What she said next completely caught us by surprise. The Education actress is a huge Witcher fan. I mean, we kind of had an inkling, but turns out Mac is a full-blown stan of the show. So, The Witcher has been one of Netflix's most successful shows. To be cast in a spin-off is a pretty huge deal, and given the work the OG cast does, they are pretty big shoes to fill. Mac admitted that there was the pressure of working on a super popular show, but that she wanted hers to be anything but positive for the fans. When asked to describe her character, she said it had a huge palette of colors, and that there was beauty and ugliness in her. After watching the show, we fully get where she's coming from. Her character is in fact very conflicted, despite having the best of intentions. Merwin's last scene in the show was brilliant, to put it lightly, and Mac says that the creators really explored her character in it. While Mac may have landed her dream role, things were far from perfect on set. If anything, the Scottish actress briefly touched on the biggest challenges while filming. It appears as if the 25-year-old was so wonderstruck on set that it took little details on the set to help her humanize her character. She praised the set designers and said the tiny details in Merwin's room helped get to the heart of the story. She added it helped her find the humanity, or elfmanity, in these big moments. Blood Origin features some of the most popular actors, and Mac had the privilege of working with the legendary Lenny Henry on the show. She recalled Henry to be an amazing human, and that she loved to get to know him on set. The funny thing is, the two sat next to each other in makeup chairs, and even though the two had a little wall between them because of COVID, Henry could probably hear all the music Mac blasted. She said he was incredible on set and would turn up singing in the most beautiful voice. This low-key makes me jealous, I'm not gonna lie. But that's not all, because the director and protagonist had a lot to say about the show. Spoiler number 2, the inception for the prequel might have seemed almost magically to DeBarra.
You're not the lark everyone around here's been going on about.
I'd plan to come see you sing myself.
So, the original Witcher books only had sparse details about how the conjunction of the spheres happened. It was not up to the show's writers to come up with a full-blown backstory. When Dabara was asked to direct Blood Origin, he literally sat in a cafe and wrote his ideas on a napkin. And hear this, the final product is very similar to his original thoughts. He explained that a normal writing process takes months on end, but this time, it was super easy for him. While a 4-episode miniseries was too short to fully address the cataclysm, Dabara's actors sang praises for the world he created. They called his work original.
Improvise.
Every time I think I've suffered the last fool, another lands in front of me.
Despite being set in the same world, and I agree, in Sophia Brown and Lawrence O'Frain's words, although it is set within the Witcher world, it's very much its own entity. It has its own spirit.
Other than killing and disgracing myself constantly.
The old world, despite being more enlightened, has its own issues for racism, speciesism, and whatnot. What's interesting is that the actors had to go the extra mile for their roles. The job was an immersive experience for them in more than one way. So it's no secret that Brown and O'Frain both are huge fans of the original show. A cute little tidbit is that the Irish actor has played The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt on the PlayStation about 3 times. This man has already immersed in the Witcher world, y'all.
Ancient dwarven monolith. He used it to open up a gateway to another world.
Getting back on track, Isla and Fjall both are seasoned warriors on the show, which, of course, the real actors are not. To ensure their characters' depth, the actors had to go through boot camp and learn to fight with blades and axes. Not only that, but Brown also recounted an incident where they went to a postbox during their lunch breaks and was shocked to find everyone staring at her. Well, only to later realize that she'd forgotten to take her elf ears off. Also, trust me when I say this, that wasn't the only time that she stepped out in costume. Leaving the set in it was apparently a norm for her. On working with the brilliant Michelle Yeoh, Brown said she really silently guided the actors with their characters. Not only that, but added that Yeoh also had a calm presence on set and was easy to work with.
The last of us, thanks to your father, have killed you by now.
Wait.
The Everything Everywhere All at Once actress takes on the role of Skien, a swordmaster, and does a kick-ass job. Having said that, I'm definitely gonna miss the original cast, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you are gonna have my back on this. But here's the question I have for you. Are you gonna binge watch The Witcher Blood Origin? Because I know I am.